What a journey. Today is the day I completed 75 hard. It was, well, hard to say the least. There were times where I gave up, but I somehow pulled through. In this video, I will walk you through the timeline of start to finish and everything in between. I will share the lessons that I learned and the struggles that I went through. I will be providing all proof in this video. My goal in this challenge was to prove to myself that I can literally do anything. My mind was strong. I just had to make sure that my body could follow. If you don't know what 75 hard is, well, here are the rules. 2 workouts per day. One has to be outside, 45 minutes each. Follow a strict diet. I followed the keto carnivore diet. Drink 4 liters of water a day. Take progress pictures every day. And read 10 pages of a self-improvement book every day. I wanted to add to this challenge, so I added cold plunge, wake up time, and meditation. If you mess up, you start over, even if it's just one thing. I was already doing this routine for about a year, minus the cardio, so the transition was really smooth from the start. I just had to get used to doing cardio while fasted first thing in the morning. Okay, so let's start off when I first started. For a long while, I've seen this challenge all over YouTube and Instagram. I wanted to do this challenge a few years ago, but the time was just not right. And then in April of 2024, I finally had a window to try it. And at the start, it was amazing. I was super motivated, super disciplined, and had tons of energy and support. The systems took about a week to put into place, like editing the shorts and dialing in the routine. And then around day 7, I was completely dialed. I was fully immersed in the challenge. I woke up at the same time, I did my fastest cardio at the same time, ate at the same time, gym at the same time, bed same time. I was on a complete military routine. I was on time for absolutely everything, and it felt so good. And the absolute best part was no one was telling me what to do. It all came from myself. Disciplining myself was way harder than someone checking up on me and disciplining me. In this month of April, I was completely dialed. Everything was locked. This is what my daily routine looked like, and I followed it to the T. From the start to about day 40, I was running an average of 6 kilometers a day at a 7:56 pace. Mind you, I have never been a runner before. Eating literally 4,000 calories a day tracked. 36 sets of legs per week. My squat went up about 30 pounds in 40 days, and my legs exploded in size. I was 184 when I started, and I went up to 191 all in 40 days. I was feeling great and had tons of energy. At this point, everything seemed to be going well. The most interesting part about this was I gained so much weight so quick, even though I was doing cardio every single day and going hard at the gym with no rest days. So I found that kind of interesting because usually when you do cardio, you burn calories, but I was gaining weight. Maybe because I was just eating more, but still. But this was more than just a 75 hard. I was playing hockey every Thursday and frisbee every Monday. I was sometimes doing 3 to 4 workouts per plus stretching every single day. Some days I would go for a run, hit legs, do sprints, and then play hockey at night. What a silly thing to do. I wish I stayed focused on just the challenge. This was the downfall. I was doing way too much and going way too far with zero recovery. You have to remember that there are 0 rest days, and sometimes I would be running off no sleep or very little amount of sleep. At around day 45, everything went downhill and fast. Because, well, I decided to run a 26K, more than a half marathon, for no reason at all. I just felt like it. I just felt like I could keep going, and I did. I always wanted to run a half marathon, and the time was right. The worst part was I was untrained with 0 recovery. When I woke up that morning, it was 30 degrees. I had no water. I was fasted. I was wearing a sweater. I hit legs the day before. I had improper running shoes with not the right insoles. The run was mostly uphill, and no one knew what I was doing. This was not even the worst part. The worst part was I was limping. I developed really horrible shin splints and a bicep femoris strain. This means that my tendons on my right leg were flared, causing me to not be able to walk. Any pressure at all was 9 out of 10 pain. After the run, with 0 food and 0 water, I decided to go to the gym. Luckily, I have a coach, and he really helped me with stretching and what to do after the run. He didn't know, and I didn't tell him. but I probably should have told him before I was doing it. But like I said, I don't know why I did it. I just did it. He really gave it to me though, but I think he understand why I did it. And he told me that it was a very bad mistake. And when he was my age, that's the kind of shit he would do as well. That run I did almost more than a month ago is still affecting me now. I still can't run and I still can't hit legs. Any pressure on my right leg is super painful. I have seen all kinds of healthcare workers like chiro, osteo, and every single one of them says that my recovery will take 3 to 4 months. The physio diagnosed me with medial tibialis stress syndrome and bicep femoris strain. When the physio squeezed my leg like this, just like that, this much pressure, I screamed and the entire gym heard me. It was 10 out of 10 pain and it sent jolts through my body. To fix this problem, my coach and physio developed a recovery plan and stretching plan for me. It was an hour long every single day. An hour long. I was spending at least 3 hours at the gym. And when I couldn't run, I did biking instead of running. And then when I couldn't bike anymore, I started to golf and practice my swing. It's funny because in the shorts, I make it seem like everything is fine. It really was not. This was not some cute 75 hard. This was a brutal challenge for me. The next 2 weeks were absolute hell. I also decided 2 days after the run, I would play a little bit of hockey. Mind you, I could not walk, but skating felt okay because there's no pressure on the ice. I was starting my rush all the way from my zone. I get to the red line and boom, the D steps up and jumps and hits me straight in the head. He caused me a concussion. He got suspended for 5 games. It was a really dirty hit and you're never supposed to jump in hockey. So I still had to complete this challenge when I could not even do one pull-up, had a concussion, had shin splints, and I had to sleep 11 hours a day to even function. I was so burnt out I can't even explain it with words. And the burnout headaches were awful. Say I recovered a little bit. Well, I just decided to ruin it all over again by lifting heavy at the gym. I didn't have the discipline to not go hard. I had to cut everything to a minimum. My coach literally forced me to do a deload week, which was a really good idea, honestly. It helped recover my muscles. And when I came back, I was much stronger and I felt a little better. I was also sleeping longer, going to bed earlier and waking up later and just doing the minimum, but still doing the habits every day. If I had the chance to redo this challenge, which I probably will never do again, I would make sure to make decisions based on my future self. I would not have played hockey or frisbee or sprints, and definitely would not have gone on a 26K run after never being a runner. If I did not make any of these mistakes, this challenge would have been a lot smoother. But it was kind of getting easy around day 40, and so I decided to spice it up. So maybe it was meant to be. I definitely taught myself a very valuable lesson. But I learned the hard way. And on top of that, I had all sorts of little injuries. The main two were the medial tibialis stress syndrome and bicep femoris strain, causing me not to be able to walk. The minor concussion, the shin splints, blisters all over my feet, runner's chafing, lower back strain, cold that lasted about a week, and a split thumbnail. In this section, I will give you all the proof that you need. Let's start with the gym. Here is my check-in history for my home gym. The 4 days missing from April and May are the days where I went to Pure Muscle, a big bodybuilding gym in another city. Next is cardio. I started by running 165 kilometers in the month of April, following by 89 kilometers in May. I just realized that I kept running after I ran the 26K. I don't even remember that at all. So as you can see, in around May, I started to bike instead of run. And after biking was too painful, I started to golf. It was either playing around or at the range. I spent about 10 days at the range just practicing my swing. I made sure that I was in the sun and sweating a bunch. Even playing golf made my shin splints a lot worse. And just walking normally with golf shoes was very painful. Here's the diet I stuck to. A keto carnivore diet. I was super strict and ate the same thing at the same time every day. This is on par with the shin splints. Eating that much food is literally torture. It takes hours per day to eat and prepare that much food. From April to May, in 1 month, it costed over $1,000. Eating anywhere from 4,000 to 6,000 calories a day, averaging 4,700 calories a day. I definitely drank 4 liters of water, probably more like 6 to 7 liters a day. Cold plunges daily. This one was already doing, and it really helps the recovery. I read 10 pages a day and completed about 5 books. I was already reading more like 1 to 2 hours per day on average. I haven't missed a day in a very long time. I use a Kindle for most reading, but I also enjoy a good book. The days that are missing are the days that I read real books. For my wake up time, I was not consistent. My goal was 7 a.m. Some days I had to sleep because I worked late. Waking up is not part of the 75 hard challenge, but I really wanted to try and dial it in, and this is one of my greatest weaknesses. It just was not possible when I burned out. I had to sleep longer. My body would just not cooperate without more sleep. I have many eyewitnesses. Anyone that has been around me actually knows that I did it. It was so great to see that I had an impact on my peers and that I inspired people. I would like to thank my best friend, Caffeine. Without you, I would not have made it. You don't stop my heart from beating. I know taking 500 to 600 milligrams per day is not good, so I will try not to abuse you in the future. I'm not proud of my caffeine addiction, but there are many worse things. I would completely stop if it was really affecting my health. And a big thanks to God. Without my faith, I would not be able to complete this challenge whatsoever. Now that I'm done, now what? Well, like I said, I've been following my routine for about just under a year, and I will stick to it, but I will not be doing cardio every single day. My number one priority is bodybuilding. I will still do cardio, but just not as intense and not every day, maybe 2 to 3 times per week. I will continue to do challenges like these, just not so long. Maybe 1-day challenges or week-long challenges. I'm happy it's over because now I can use what I learned and get really good at recovering and pacing myself instead of going all in and burning out again. Hope you found this video helpful. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.